Well, hello there. I'm Euge Valovirta, and this is about how to get that classic early In Flames a guitar sound, and also a little bit about the playing and theory behind it as well. So kind of like also in the style of In Flames. Yes, indeed. For this video, I decided to write an original song in the style of early In Flames. So that was what you just heard. Some of you might know that I play currently in the same band with Jesper Strömblad called Syra, and we've obviously talked a bit about gear too, and the gear they used on In Flames albums back in the days. So, I mean, we all know memory is what memory is, and you don't necessarily remember everything what happened 15-20 years ago. But Jesper was able to tell me a few things about the gear and stuff they used on those classic early In Flames albums. Guitars, Jesper is known to use exploders, but he told me that he's never really actually recorded one. But most of the stuff he's recorded has been with a Les Paul with EMG 81 pickup, which is I have here now. He actually used one of my signature Les Pauls on Syra's No Halos in Hell album also. I ended up playing most of the guitar parts, but he was there in spirit and he played a few licks here and there using my Les Paul. that's where I got it, because I was like, why don't you use your own Explorers? Nah, I've never used those in albums. It's always Les Paul. That's the, you know, best sounding guitar. But Explorers are more lighter and he prefers them live. Okay, then amp-wise, well, I guess it was the Marshall Valvestate on the early albums, and quite soon after Peavey 5150. I have the original black leather here. And the thing is that to get that sound, it was a blend of two different sounds. So your basic 5150 sound boosted with an overdrive, because that's what you do. It didn't remember whether it was always an overdrive or not, but most likely yes, because that's kind of how you get that tight, aggressive metal sound. So what I have here is Les Paul with EMGs, Boss SD1 into 5150. And then the other secret sound was this. Good old Boss HM2. This is made in Japan, black label, my first effect pedal ever. I bought this in '89. So this is how you get that aggressive kind of high, what's, you know, Clayman, Oracle, those early albums. So it's basically two sounds combined into one. Your standard overdriven metal sound, which, you know, you don't necessarily need a 5150, but any, you know, to get that crunchy. I can get a similar tone out of 800 or GSL, but I just, you know, 5150 doesn't hurt, boosted with an overdrive. And then this, what I did on the song, into clean channel, and this, everything on full. That's the way to go. And then when you blend those two different sounds together in a mix, you get the classic early In Flames sound. Okay, so let me take you to a screen soon, so I show you what I did, and also a little bit about the theory, what's behind the guitar arrangements and riffs, because as we know, sound comes mostly what you do with these two things. What you play, how you play, and then that stuff just amplifies it. So let's go there next. Okay, here we are on my Cubase screen, and here's the drums I programmed, the bass I played, and then this piece of thing is the track that I recorded while I filmed myself, and then I just cut it to different tracks because I had different little bit delay there, and you know. But here's the basically the basic guitar. So on the right there's 5150 boosted with SD and 5150 boosted with HM2, and same on right tracks. So let's take a listen of the whole thing and then go this piece by piece. So this is the now two left and right 5150 sound. Then when we add the HM2, well, actually let's listen the HM2 first. So, as you heard, it sounds quite horrible on its own, the HM2 sound, but when you blend that in to the standard guitar sound, you get this aggressive. And on some songs, on those early In Flames albums, the HM2 is, you know, blended in more, some less, and some parts, basically leads and stuff, there's none of that. But, you know, the basic rhythm sound, you know, you blend the HM2 in. So what I did, I played four tracks. So there's 4 different guitar tracks here. And then what's also important to understand a bass role in the overall sound. So that actually makes quite a difference. So let's take, let's say, this part here, and let me then add the bass, so you hear. So all those things combined together. I think Peter Evers, he used to play in Syra also, so he had a little bit more gain on the bass sound. But I just thought that this kind of clanky, not so gainy bass sound fitted into this mix really well. So, and then the arrangement parts, how do you get that you know, sound? Because it's just not about the gear, but what you play. So most of the riffs are based on a natural minor scale. And yeah, the tuning, they basically used 2 tunings, standard C, which I have here. So all strings tuned down 2 steps. And then they also used a drop tuning of that, and I guess on new albums it's basically all on drop. So but since this song was in standard C, and that was kind of their main tuning in the good old days. So what happens here is the basic riff on this guitar. If you listen to this, it's kind of the root notes. So using the, let's say, E natural minor scale, because, well, in reality it's C, because this is tuned to C, but, you know, to make things simple. So that was E minor with 2 strings. So the first riff is like, all the notes from E minor scale. And then it's harmonized, so it sounds like this. So what I do is I play the riff third above, so I'm harmonizing it in thirds. So when the scale goes, so I'm playing it here. kind of like Orion. So basically what you're doing is you're creating dyad chords, which has a root note and a third. Because third note from G minor, G, and depending on the note, it's either, the third is either minor or major. You don't really have to know the theory, you hear it when it's wrong, like, no, so this third is minor, this second is major, because that's how the scale goes here. So, it sounds like this. So like this. And then what I start to do, I start to play the third harmony as like a root, and then I do another third harmony for that, so here. So now the guitar left is playing. And then the guitar right is doing a harmony. So that, again, when you continue up the scale, like that. A lot of In Flames riff, they are harmonized like that. In this case, like the root note E, that's always the E, but then the other. So it's kind of like you would play dyad chords, but they're divided with two guitars and panned hard left and right. That's how you get the sound. Cool. And the bass is here, bass is playing basically the root notes, if we listen. Like that. So bass keeps the foundation in there. Okay. Then what happens in the chorus goes like this. Again, another classic In Flames thing. So the rhythm guitars are playing like this. And then the right rhythm guitar is partly harmonizing that. So those things, so. Again, third dyads there. And then what they also used, so you see these guitars here. So what I did, because when I play this, I harmonized that E with minor third, because minor third of E is G, so again, good trick, so it creates more bigger sound and you know that in place sound. And then these parts, I played these octave higher. And again to create this nice vibe. And the chord progression is classic, a little bit similar what Clayman has, so it's really, you know, your basic. So A and then minor third of A, it's C, fifth below, G, fifth up, D, you know. This chord progression is on millions of songs, so really simple. And then this riff, and that was again harmonized, so the left was playing that and the right guitar. Sorry. Really classic. And then the melody, harmonized again, so. So what I did, I started, because it's A, I started on the A. Using natural minor scale, A minor in this case. And then I harmonized it a third above. Like that. And sometimes what they did, what we done in Syra, so that I didn't do it on this one, but let's say this example. So first time the guitar left is playing the root, and then it switches on the second round, play the third, and vice versa. So and the right guitar is starting with this third harmony. And it switches on the second, so they kind of go crisscross. So that creates a cool effect, and that's what the Jesper and the guys used on a lot on those early albums as well. And we've used that in Syra too. Yeah, and then the solo. Well, I improvise it completely, but as we know, Björn likes to use wah a lot, and I do too. I think he uses the 535Q. I had a Hendrix wah, but kind of use as a like a filter, like you know, just a little bit moving that, so get that cocky wah sound. And well, yeah, the HM2 on its own. So 51/5 with SD, without SD. Of course, you could turn the gain up, but then the sound becomes not so tight. And then we switch to clean channel. And then when we add the HM, when you blend that sound in with your you get a classic sound. Like that. So this is how you create very similar sound, at least. And there's ways that you can, blend two signals into one, like live, if you want to use, heavy metal with the standard sound. Christian Kohler actually did a good video of that, so I'll put a link in the description below if you want to see that great channel, how you blend like normal and this kind of like, well, HM2 sound or whatever another sound. A live, what they use, if I understood correct, it was basically your standard 5150 sound, and then was the line 6 for the clean sounds, because we all know that 5150's clean sound isn't the most, well, it is what it is. And clean sound, your standard, little bit reverb, delay and chorus in there. But the rhythm tone, like that, two different sounds. One sounds really good on its own, and the HM2 sounds, well, interesting, but when you combine those together, you get that extra aggression to the your standard sound. And leads and melodies, what I had here, a little bit delay, your basic thing, just with the normal sound and stuff. And, well, theory-wise, most of the riffs were based on a natural minor scale, and the harmonies were the third harmonies. Obviously, sometimes there was like fifth harmonies and stuff, but like I said, if you know theory, at least the natural minor scale, which I think is pretty basic, that helps you to create those harmonies. But Jesper doesn't know, much about theory. He just has really good ears. So whenever, in Syro we created those harmonies, it was like, oh man, cool, you did those, third, and then you took the fourth and a couple of fives in there and then went back to third. It was like, oh, really? No idea, just sounds good to me. If it sounds good, it's good. Yeah, hey, hopefully this was interesting and informative, and maybe you got some tips if you're interested to create a sound, something similar. But again, a sound is really what you play, how you play, the notes you play. This stuff just amplifies it. Well, maybe except the Bass HM2, because that definitely has its own sound. You get the point. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like, thumbs up, subscribe, you know the drill. Take care, all the best. See you next time. Bye.